morning. Good morning. Good morning. I want credit. I want credit for being on time because I just got finished running around like a chicken with my head cut off. If I'm breathing hard, it's because I'm out of shape. Okay, so there's that. Good morning, Quizzical Girl. Good morning, Montana. Good morning, Z. Good morning. Did you miss me? I missed you guys. I have been doing all the things. All the things. But I have wanted to chat. Good morning, Kelly. I have wanted to chat about all the things that float around my head throughout the week. Some of them are pointed, have really good points, good morning numbers. Some of them have no point at all. They've just been floating around up there, and I don't have anybody to talk to about them, so I'm talking to you. Just want to talk to you. Some you will understand, some you won't. You'll be like, what is she talking about? I don't know, but these are the things. These are the things that go through my head. And because I'm a yapping yapper who yaps, I got to get them out of my head and on paper, which happens to be YouTube. Good morning, Melissa. Good morning, Melissa. I am doing well. I am still trucking along, trying to get my oldest ready for college, trying to get my youngest ready for kindergarten. That sentence is slightly depressing. But it is what it is. Nothing can depress me today. You want to know why? Do you want to know why? Nothing can bother me today because I see Beyonce tomorrow. I see Beyonce tomorrow. And because of that, I'm walking on sunshine. Whoa. Nothing can bother me today. I am so excited. I can see the vision in my head. I might cry. I mean, I can just see it all when the lights go down and then they come back up. Spotlight, not spotlight, backlight. Backlight, you don't see a figure. And then she's going to go, there's a lot of talking going on. Ugh. Ugh. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. I'm going to lose it. But everybody, make sure you're liking, make sure you comment, make sure you're subscribing, make sure you're supporting my little channel. The link for merch is active. Some things have been removed because of our quality control. Thank you, numbers. But other than that, there are some things available for purchase. The first thing I want to talk about this morning, though, is I got a comment. On the video I did last week. Nuts. I'm not 40, but I'm close enough to 40 where it is nuts. Montana. We've lost our minds. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know which brain eating amoeba jumped in there, made me have another baby. And I love my baby. I love my little baby. But I got one going to college, one going to kindergarten. And it's a struggle every day. Okay. All right. I got a comment on my last video that I have to share with you guys. I don't know if you watched it, if you were here with me, then you understand why this comment pissed me off. Pissed me off. And a lot of people that comment on my videos or come with my videos, we have disagreements, and it's fine. It's fine that you disagree with me, but everybody so far has been very respectful with their disagreements. When people leave comments of different opinions and different perspectives, that's fine. But if you know me, and I hope you guys do, we've been doing this for a while now, you know the things that will tick me off is not understanding. Me personally, when I don't understand something, it bothers me so much. And also, people, I feel like, who intentionally misunderstand me. When I feel like I'm being very clear. You want to see me get feral? Make me feel like you're being intentionally obtuse. I don't know why it makes me so mad because I shouldn't care, but I do. So Let's go over this comment. Good morning, Team Wicked Smart. Let's go over this comment that was left for me, shall we? Now, on the last video I made, we talked about Diddy through gritted teeth because I said I would not speak on Diddy. But the point of that video was there is not a lot of nuance in the conversation, and that bothers me. Do I care about Diddy at all? I don't. I don't know that man. That man ain't never did nothing for me. They could put him in jail for 50 years, and guess what? I still gotta go to work every day. I don't care about Diddy. I don't care. The point of that conversation was there is no nuance to the conversation. And I can't stand having one-sided conversations because usually two things, maybe even three things are true at the same time. That was the point of my conversation that I had on Diddy. And I got a comment on that video that really creased my Timbs. And I want to share it with you. It's from Little Green 5845. Mind you, I've never even seen this person. I don't know where they found me. I'm great that I'm in the algorithm. But who are you? Clearly you don't know me. Clearly you don't understand my rhetoric. Clearly you did not understand what I was saying, even though I felt like I was very clear. But let's see what Little Green had to say on my video. She or he says, I'm not a Diddy fan or follower, nor have I followed this case closely, nor am I a reality TV viewer. First of all, let's stop right there. Let's stop right there. Because with that sentence, you shouldn't even be speaking to me. You shouldn't even be speaking to me because with that sentence, you let me know that you have no idea or no perspective about what I'm talking about. You just told me you haven't followed the Diddy case. You don't watch reality TV. You have no idea what I'm talking about. So why are you here? Why are you here on that particular topic? With that sentence, I already knew you were intending to misunderstand me. But let's continue. That said, the idea that everyone has a price, that human trafficking is okay in business, religion, or worldview and should be acceptable as a legal standard is not a legal or ethical framework that is sustainable in society. Hold up. Wait a minute. It's a 22. Did any of you, because if that is the message that I put out, I want to correct myself. Did any of you that were there with me last week, did any of you feel like I was saying that human trafficking is okay if you pay them? Did anybody feel like I was saying that? Because I feel like I particularly tailored the everyone has a price conversation to the assistants and the bodyguards and everybody else around them who stood by and watched people be abused or mishandled or whatever. I feel like I did that. But I want to be clear if somebody got the wrong impression. I wasn't talking about Cassie or Jane Doe or any other woman. I was talking about the hanger-oners. And I feel like I tried to make that clear. Okay, that's not what I said. Oh, okay. I just wanted to be clear. Because if that's what you received from my message, then I wanted to clear that up. But I don't think you could have because I feel like I was very intentional in framing that conversation. But they're not done. Oh no, they're not done. The origin of the KGB. See, I stopped. I almost stopped reading when I saw KGB because another thing that will tick me off. Another thing that will tick me off is talking about something that has absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about. Who's the KGB? Are we in Russia? What the does the KGB have to do with anything we're talking about? The KGB? All right. Let's continue. The origin of the KGB as a historical artifact has kept Russian society stunted for generations. I don't know nothing about Russia. I don't know nothing about Russia. I ain't said nothing, nothing about Russia. What you talking about? What you talking about? Let's go. Many cultures around the world have practices and legal frameworks that are antithetical to our own, and so one would argue that leads to corruption and other ills not good for governance, but I digress with the macro view. I- I'm not even going to touch that one. Let's continue. I don't really think you understand DV at all, or rather your view of it is rather narrow. DV occurs in all forms of abuse well outside actual activities. It's also known as elder child stuff. Entire cults and religions in the USA are dedicated to a legal framework that uses religion, one, a rights and private property rights. What, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? To say that I don't understand domestic violence, I I think, I think that in that video, what I said was, now, what I said was, on an intellectual level, because I am intelligent, had a little schooling, went to school for a little bit, even minored in psychology. On an intellectual level, I understand domestic violence. Okay? I understand intellectually that there are things happening in relationships and in relationship dynamics and with people and power and depending on how young you are when you got a relationship, depending on how impressionable you are in a relationship. I understand all that. That's what I said. Intellectually, I understand that. What I said was practically, in practice, I can't understand it because you can't put your hands on me. Practically, you can't talk to me any kind of way. That's what I said. Not saying that every woman is like me or every person is like me because women aren't the only ones that experience domestic violence. That's not what I said. I cannot stand being intentionally misunderstood. That's not what I said. I said, in practice, it doesn't make sense for me because you can't put your hands on me. You can't talk to me crazy. There has been no relationship that I've ever been in where a man has called me out of my name to my face. And I feel like I set that tone very early. I don't know what they call me when I turn around. I'm sure I'm everything but a child of God. But in my face, I've never had a man call me out of my name in a relationship that I've been in. I've never had a man put his hands on me. So practically, I don't understand staying in a relationship where those things are happening. But I'm smart enough to understand it intellectually. That is what I said. But let's continue. It's also known as elder child stuff. Okay. Entire cults and religions in the USA are dedicated to a legal framework that uses religion rights and private property rights and guardian estate laws and trusts to systematically rob and subjugate people by the thousands or tens of thousands. What you talking about, Willis? When did we start talking about cults? When did we move into real estate law? What you talking about, Willis? Huh? Huh? But they're not done. We finally moved back to Diddy. Allowing Diddy to get away with Rico. I'm not allowing Diddy to do anything. I'm not the government. The government didn't prove a RICO. That's why he was found not guilty. But we can continue. Allowing Diddy to get away with RICO and trafficking is not just about his victims who deserve it. Who said that? Who said that? Who said who said that? Who said, what? And not you put deserve in quotation marks as if somebody said that. Who are you quoting? Because you ain't quoting me. Who are you quoting? Because you ain't quoting me. She put deserve in quotation marks. Who are you quoting? Because who said that? Who said that? It's not just about its victims who deserve it because they won't stand up for themselves, but it's about a larger legal framework that allows many vulnerable people of all genders and ages to become victims of trafficking that goes well beyond actual crimes and other vices that you judge to be less than deserving of a just framework. Do I? Do I? When did I say? Did we put a hierarchy on what deserves a legal framework? I didn't. What you talking about? What you talking about? Let's get to the end. Let's get to the end. Miss Holmes, we're talking about this crazy message someone left on my last video. All right, let's see. Where did we leave off? And other vices that you judge to be less than deserving of a just framework and extends to minors and seniors working and dying for that bridge to total freedom and other forms of salvation. We got salvation in a sense. Salvation? It's a slippery slope to work will set you free, but it never does. That's the end. Little Green 5845, go to hell. Go to hell in a handbasket with gasoline draws on, because what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? I didn't say any of those things. I don't know how we started talking about the KGB and minors and real estate law and all of the rest. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. That is not to say you can't criticize any opinion I have. That is not to say you can't completely think the opposite of any opinion I have. But what you will not do is use my opinion to spew nonsense and say to me that I said things that I did not say. Because one thing about me is I'm very intentional when I speak. Very intentional when I speak. I try to choose my words very carefully. And if I don't, I correct myself. I didn't say anybody deserved anything. I didn't say trafficking was okay, paid or not paid. None of that is true. None of that is true. That was not the point. You just made that up. You just made that up. Just made that up. Nobody said any of those things. And when I said everybody has a price, I was talking about the hanger-oners. Go back and watch the video again. And maybe you needed to watch it 2 or 3 times. But don't come up in here talking about what I said and that I'm condoning trafficking or RICO. I don't think there ever was a RICO to condone or not condone. And obviously the jury agreed. Now, your personal opinion in that matter is of no consequence. We don't care. Find something safe to do. Okay? All right. Anywhooty. Anywhooty. Let's talk about all the things that I have been. That's what it is, Team Wicked Smart. Trying to use big words and big analogies and nobody else have any idea what you're talking about. What does the KGB have to do with this thing? When did we move up? Soon as she started talking about the KGBI, I tuned out. What? Excuse me, what? Go away from me with this, Apollo. Anywho, all the things that have been going on. Right, we have. Here comes drama. We're moving on. I have been paying attention to all the people being reassigned in Norfolk County, Massachusetts. Now, I know that we hate these people. I know that we hate Proctor. I know that we hate Buchanan. I know that we hate DeChico. I know that we hate Tully. I know we hate these people. But will somebody find one of them? Get them a little sliz and ask them, was it worth it? Was it worth it? See, because all of y'all are losing your jobs and being demoted in public. Brian Albert been retired off his pension. He's living good. He don't care about none of that. All of y'all are moving downward. Was it worth it for little old Karen Reed? Was that worth it? And when I told y'all last week, I saw Buchanan testifying, or maybe it was a preliminary hearing with the Wash guy, I was like, there's no way nobody in that county hasn't heard of the Karen Reed trial. I don't believe, like now, maybe before the second trial, there were a couple people who hadn't heard about it. But after that second trial, there's no way nobody in that town has not heard of the Karen Reed trial, has not looked it up, has not heard some of the fodder and what all went wrong. So when you have Walsh on trial in that same county, while you may find jurors who have never heard of Walsh, when they see Buchanan get on the stand, they're going to be like, ain't he, ain't he one of the, ain't he one of the liars from Karen Reed? When they start hearing Proctor's name on the reports, what does that do to your case? So what they got to do, they got to move you out of the DA's office because you can't be over here touching stuff. Because nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. Seeing your name on any report diminishes my case. And I want to know if it was worth it to them. Was this worth it to you? I want to think no, but these people have so much audacity. We've seen Proctor's interview. They might act like everything's all good. It can't be worth it. It can't be worth it. I saw Diva is on a leave of absence of some sort. Was it worth it? And you know what? She pissed me off during the trial, Diva. But the more I thought about it, more I thought about her, I realized that she's under 30. And I started to feel sorry for her. I know. But I started to feel sorry for her because sometimes, because you have to put yourself in her shoes. She's not even 30. She's a cop on this force. She's called into the commissioner's office. She has all of these other male cops who seem like they don't care about women at all. We saw Proctor's text messages. They think women are nut jobs and all the rest. I'm not even going to say the see you next Tuesday word. So I have a little bit of sympathy for her, not a lot. Not a lot. But I do have a little bit of sympathy for her. Now that sympathy doesn't extend to anybody else, especially not that goddamn Julie Nagel. She gets none. She gets none. But I see she's on a leave of absence. And I just want to know if it was worth it to these people. It can't be. It can't be. I know that they'll never say it publicly, but I know when they get home and it's quiet in the house and they're all alone, I know they think like, this shit sucks. I wish I would have never got involved with this case. I wish I would have done the right thing. Also, do you know who's missing? Do you know whose name I haven't heard at all? Higgins. Where is Brian Higgins? You might know. Anybody know? He's just kind of like poof, poof, gone. Haven't heard him, haven't seen him. Just Dove. I did see Turtle Boy talk about that he ran into it with him somewhere. But I'm talking about case wise, like what's happening with his job? What's the status of his employment? Does he still have a job? Is he on leave of absence? Did he retire early as so not to be fired? I have questions about Higgins. He just kind of poof be gone. And the more he stays away, the more I don't hear his name, the more I believe something nefarious happened in that house. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Where is Higgins? Was it worth it? All y'all are losing your jobs, being demoted. They're being demoted because they don't want their names to show up in any other cases at all, ever, or at least for a couple years. Just imagine. Just imagine you're somewhere, you get called in for jury duty, you don't know any of these people on trial, you're ready to give your unbiased, you're ready to listen to the evidence, you're ready to see what's going on, you're on this jury, and then in walks Buchanan. Do you instantly roll your eyes? Because I would. Will you instantly go, oh my God, not him? Let's see what he has to say. Don't you immediately discount everything he has to say? You absolutely do. That's why I don't want these people nowhere near it. And they have to use Buchanan now as the lead investigator because Proctor's fired off. He's gone from everything. I did see that Proctor is appealing his termination, but I want to know how, with what. I heard he's trying to say that everybody do it. You're a snitch. Do you really want to be back on a police force as a snitch? Police treat snitches worse than gangs do. Okay? Even though they try to act like it's so terrible in the streets, police treat other police snitches worse than gangs do. And what he's basically trying to say is, I shouldn't have been fired because everybody does this. Oh, do they? Go on. Do you have any specific examples that you can show me? Do you have any? Who exactly are you talking about? Or are you just talking in general? Hmm? Hmm? Why is that the thing? No, you were fired because you're an idiot. That's all. Take your cap and go. Go find something else to do. Thing is, people like him don't know. They don't know how to be anything else but a douchebag cop. He doesn't know how to do anything else. And also, where you get that glass from? Since we talking, where you get that glass from. Anywho, also I watched a little bit of Turtle Boy's hearing. I love Mark Butterow. I could listen to him talk forever. Um the fact that this case is still going on and the fact that this carries a life sentence is, I wonder why they won't just, the people of Norfolk County are just so, just give it up. Like, I wonder why they won't just cut their losses, be done, everybody go their separate ways. Turtle Boy leave these people alone. These people leave Turtle Boy alone. Everybody just, like, why? Do they really think they can get a conviction on this mess? Like, I just don't understand it. It's just like they're just too deep in that they can't let it go. And I just hate that for prosecutors. It's the same thing I felt about Fonnie Willis down in Atlanta. Like, you're just so deep in now that you feel like I can't let it go. But you should. But you should. Just let it go. But they've made this big stink and they've made this big push and they've made all these declarations that they just feel like I can't now. And the part of the hearing that I heard is that they have been waiting for discovery for damn near a year, maybe even two. How is that okay? How is that okay? Fonnie is a fool, and I can't believe nobody is opposing her. But just let it go, man. Just let it go. Go to sleep, Joe. Go to bed. That's a little bit of Jackson 5 if you caught the reference. Um, but just this is enough. This is enough. Anywho, I want to have a conversation about another comment that I received through my website. I think I said something like, and I can't remember the words verbatim, but I basically said anybody who makes over $100 million is an evil person. And I meant it. I meant it. And their comment was basically, we don't know that. Some people work very hard. Blase, whatever. I stand by it. Anybody that amasses maybe 100, no, I'm not changing. Anybody that amasses $100 million is not a good person. I feel like there are at least 1,000 people in the world. If you have $100 million, there's at least 1,000 people that you have done terribly wrong. Yes, Schmidt went to my website to tell me that. I was having this conversation with a couple people this past week, the money conversation. And I started to realize with having this conversation with multiple different people from multiple different walks of life that regular everyday people, couple things. Regular everyday people don't realize that you are closer to homelessness than you will ever be to being a millionaire. And I recognized that people don't really understand how much $1 million is. Like, because we hear insane numbers all the time when we're looking at basketball contracts or record sales or how much people get paid to make a movie or blah 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 blah. People have no perspective of how much $1 million is. There's people that have never held $10,000 in their hand at one time who will look at you and say $1 million is not a lot of money. Excuse me? I think people don't recognize how much money that is. And so, people who will never be rich start to align themselves with billionaires who have the money that they covet because everybody thinks they're just one good scheme, one good job, one good idea away from being rich, when really you're one bad medical issue away from being destitute. You're one bad accident away from being homeless. And people don't understand that. So yes, I think $100 million makes you a terrible person because you don't need $100 million. And that's not to say that I'm like somebody who wants the wealth redistributed. Like if you, it's a very nuanced conversation because if you know that there's a limit to how much money you can make, does that stop people from working as hard? I don't know. I don't know. But I feel like your life, your lifestyle, the way you live, the way you behave does not change much. If you make $10 million, if you make $10 million a year, I don't think you're doing many things different than the person making $100 million a year. Maybe you can't buy the 25 bedroom house, but you damn sure can buy a 10 bedroom house. Considering none of these people use cash anyway. Once you have $10 million, they'll give you everything they'll give the man with $100 million. So why are you just hoarding this money? I think the conversation we were having is if I just randomly received $50 million. The first part of the question was, will I work again? And I said I would work to help the less fortunate because I don't need $50 million. There's nothing I need that will cost me $50 million. I'd make sure my children are fine. And then I would give so much money away. Because I don't need $50 million. There's nothing I need. Like these billionaires just like to look at it in their account. And most of the billionaires don't have $1 billion liquid cash. Because nobody's spending cash. It's that once you're worth $1 billion, you'll be surprised how much billionaires are not even paying for. That's the thing. Listen, this conversation, I could go forever because I think money is the root of all evil. I think these people are hoarding wealth. And when I think about how much wealth they have, and then I think about on the other end that there is actual food insecurity in the United States, I it bothers me so much. It bothers me so much. Um, and then one of the arguments was, well, what about Kiana? That's exactly what it was. What about your generation? What about your legacy? Man, fuck them kids and you too. Listen, I care about my children. And if I am willing and able and fortunate enough to be here for my grandchildren, then I care about them. I can't be worried. Okay, I cannot worry myself with 3 generations from now. Okay, I could wake up and be like the Jacksons. Do you think Joe Jackson thought that his legacy 2 generations from now would be completely a different race? We don't want to have that conversation. No, I don't care. I don't care. I don't give a damn about the generations. I care about the generations as a whole, as a community. But personal generation, no. I care to leave this country better for the generation, this country better for the generations behind me. But personally, I don't give a shit. Y'all just gonna have stories of how your great great grandmama was rich. But once I'm gone, who am I? What can I do? What can I do? I can have a great great granddaughter that has a terrible drug problem, and now my whole legacy is up in smoke. Have you seen the Murdaugh? They were lawyers for 100 years, and here come Alec with his pill popping. I can't be bothered. Okay, I can't be bothered with the generations after me. I can do my kids and maybe my grandkids. That's all I'm worried about. And I feel like if I had $50 million, I can set up a good legacy for them. And I could help a bunch of people because $50 million is an enormous amount of money. And I don't got time to be worried about what my legacy is 100 years from now. They don't know me. I don't know them. I don't know them people, Team Wicked Smart. I don't know them people. I'm not worried about that. The hell that got to do with me? But anyway, that was the message that was left on my website. I don't care. I don't think people can conceptualize that amount of money. And because of social media and everything else, and we see large amounts of money like written to us, that $1 million seems small because you just saw an athlete get a $220 million contract. That's an obscene amount of money. Obscene. You should not be able to spend that money in your lifetime or your children's lifetime. I mean, I'm sure you could. You buy 17 boats and 17 houses and trick off on a couple strippers and some watches and some baby daddies and some baby mama problems and some lawsuits. I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could. But do you need to? Is there a way to make 220 million last generations? Yes. Yes. And it should. But here we are with our big, beautiful bill, putting more money into billionaires' pockets who do not put it back into the economy. We have learned through trial and error that trickle down economics does not work. But somehow we keep on trying. Keep on trying. We have learned through trial and error that if you put money in poor people's pockets, that stimulates the economy. But somehow we got to keep the poor poor. Got to keep the poor poor and the rich rich. And there is no more middle class, so I think I'm landing somewhere closer to well, we all landing. Unless there's a billionaire in this chat, and since I don't see no $10,000 super chat, I'm gonna assume there isn't. We're all sliding on the poor side, not the rich side. And I think once more people understand that, even if you make $200,000 a year, it takes one bad accident, takes one bad economy crash, and that's it, wiped out, done. And it's not. Anywho, I gotta get to work. But there's also another thing I want to talk about. Because I want somebody to do this with me. I have been rewatching the Housewives from the beginning. I started with Atlanta. I'm doing New York. I'm doing OC. I'm doing New Jersey. I'm doing, I talked about this when I was with Auntie Deb. I am an Housewives originator. Okay. I was there. I was with them shooting in the gym. Do you hear me? I was there at the very first episode of OC. I was there. Okay. I have seen at least one season of every single franchise. I was there shooting in the gym. I have started to rewatch them from the beginning because I have Peacock. And I need somebody to talk about this with because because hold on, guys. I gotta. Okay. I gotta talk about this because I have not watched Traitors, but I feel like I want to because I see Candace is on this episode, and call me what you want, but Candace was always getting the girls together, and they hated her for it. Some people didn't like Candace on Potomac. Not me. I loved her. Anywho, I've been rewatching The Housewives, and I want to have some conversations because not that I wasn't an adult, because maybe I wasn't when OC started, but not that I wasn't. Do not get me started. Don't get me started. Because they used to do Candace Bowl the same way they used to try Kenya. And the problem is that y'all want to poke a bear. Because one thing about it, except for Ashley, I felt like Candace did fuck with Ashley a little bit, but Ashley deserved it. And I'm surprised that Ashley is still on this show. I cannot stand Ashley. But both of those people did not start drama, but they took it to 100. And because I'm similar, they've always resonated with me. Um, but anywho, that's good. You're throwing me off my train of thought. Okay, I've been rewatching, and I think we have some sad truths. When you rewatch it with what you think you know, that's the thing. I think we've forgotten, at least me. I have forgotten a lot of things that happened in the show. So rewatching is a very interesting experience because I have decided after rewatching Atlanta. First of all, the first 5, 6 seasons of every franchise, chef's kiss, lightning in a bottle. You can not do anything with it. This was prime television. Before they really became aware of social media, before they really started to talk about, like, start to care about what they looked like or started to, I don't know. Those first 6 seasons, those were real reality TV. And I loved every minute of it. But rewatching Atlanta, I think we have to have a hard truth. Now, see, not therapists, we gotta have some hard discussions. Because I love Nene. First of all, we have to give Nene all the props. Bravo doesn't turn into what it turns into without Nene. I don't care what anybody says. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. That first season, close your legs to married men. You heard it. Close your legs to married men. That sent Bravo into oblivion. I will die on that hill. I will die on that hill. However, watching it back, she may have been the problem. Nene may have been the problem in every conflict she had. I don't know. I don't know. Now, y'all, see, y'all are watching it with old eyes. I'm telling y'all, go back. Okay, this is what we're gonna do. Except season one. Season one Nene is untouchable. Season one Nene untouchable. Season two Nene started to get a little too big for her britches. Season three Nene, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Also started watching New Jersey. Also started watching New Jersey. I used to think I used to think that Teresa was the problem. Rewatch, rewatch that brother of hers and that wife of her brothers. I don't know. I'm starting to change my mind. Starting to change my mind. They seem like, you know why I'm changing my mind about Teresa? I think it's Melissa and Joe, Kate. I think it's Melissa and Joe. You know why I'm starting to change my mind? Because I think Teresa is unhinged. I think she's not smart enough to do hi Brog, um, what they're accusing her of. But Melissa and that brother seem like they sit around and put together shit. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I'm not saying she's a victim. I'm just saying, and that whole mess with them, they seem to start it. They seem to have started it. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Rewatched OC. Rewatched OC. First of all, I don't know that at least me, I didn't watching it now as a grown adult with experiences and life behind me and things going on. Why weren't we scared of Gina Keo in that house? We should have been scared for her. That should have not been on television. They seemed like that whole house was abusing her. Something was not right in that household. Something was not right in that household. That man, that husband of hers was mean. I'm talking about season one. I need to get back in the OC. That man was mean. Vicky was mean. I did love Gretchen. I did love Gretchen. And I loved Gretchen specifically because she got under Tamara's skin, and Tamara has always gotten on my nerves. Tamara has gotten on my nerves since Gretchen came onto the show because why won't you just admit that you're jealous of this girl? And why are you jealous of her? She's not, y'all not even, y'all are not in competition at that time. Y'all weren't in competition. You're married, Tamara, with children. You mad at her because she found her old man who about to die and leave him all his money. Why does that piss you off? Don't block my blessings. Tamara was a mess. I'm telling you, these first seasons of these Housewife franchises, lightning in a bottle. Now we can go over to Potomac. First of all, the fact that people don't like Kenya, the fact that people don't like Kenya but like Giselle is why I don't believe you. It's why I don't believe you. Because Giselle is Kenya. And Giselle is Kenya times 10. Because Kenya pokes back. Giselle just every single season, Giselle went after somebody else's husband. And Candace was the one who was like, not today, bitch. Not this one, not mine. Even Wendy's like, let me tell you something. You can play with these other people if you want to. You can play with these other people if you want to. Not this one, not mine. Kenya, first of all, they needed a villain, but she wasn't even a villain. And let me tell you, the moment I started saying, okay, these people, first of all, because y'all know with me, if I want you to be genuine. You cannot be disingenuous when you have a conversation with me. You cannot speak out both sides of your neck, because once you start to do that, I stop listening. Once you start to do that, I stop listening. Once you think one thing, like, see, that's why y'all need to go back, because y'all may not even know what I'm talking about. There was an episode where they went out of town and there was these like really aggressive guys that came back to their villa. And um like one of them was really getting amped with Kenya. Like really act like he was wanting to fight her. And turns out and like a couple weeks later, we turned out he was actually crazy. Then they get to the reunion and everybody's like, well, Kenya was bothering him. And Candy was the only one like, hold up. Because doesn't matter what Kenya was doing to him, that man was crazy. And that's why I can't with them. Because they only get mad if it's Kenya. They don't get mad if it's anybody else. And Kenya's funny as hell to me. Kenya is funny as hell to me. Is Karen still in jail, by the way? Thank you, Jared, for loving my channel. Is Karen still in jail? Y'all, is Karen? I can't believe the Grand Dame is sitting in jail. That's crazy. That's crazy. Listen, that video of Karen, baby, baby, I wouldn't, I wouldn't. I don't know that I would have the self-esteem to come back. I don't know that I would have the self-esteem to come back, honey. I'm telling you right now, I don't know that I would have the self-esteem to come back. That wig was 2 inches to the left, and Ray ain't know what to do. A poor Ray, that's the poor Ray. Ray ain't know what to do. And she wouldn't shut up. Oh, poor Karen. Poor Karen. She was going through a lot. I can't believe they put that lady in jail, but it was her second one. So, I mean, yeah, girl. Yeah, girl. Karen Huger or not, you hit a tree. You could have hit a person. That was crazy. That was a little crazy. Which other franchises do I love, love, love? I love Beverly Hills. I it I know that they like to keep one OG on the cast. I know they like to keep one. First of all, New York. New York. That bunch of alcoholics. That's what I'm watching New York right now. New York was amazing television. Amazing television. Who is your prime New York cast? I'm going to tell you. Ramona, Sonia, Bethany, um, what's the other one? What's the other one? The one who's always drunk. And I mean, as soon as she get drunk, she cannot say a word. Um, there's one that as soon as she's drunk, she cannot speak English. What is her name? Uh, I can do without Luann. I can do without Luann. It's not Aviva. She has short hair. Oh my God. She's not on yet. Not Sonia. It's not Sonia. Because I'm only on season 3 right now. Ugh, when I find the name, I'm gonna make it up. But her, and you gotta throw in a psycho. So bring back Kelly Kalor and Ben Simone. Cause you need one psycho. New York lightning in a bottle. Amazing television. Do you hear me? The I just I just get so emotional thinking about it because what did they do to these shows? Dorinda! That's who I'm talking about. Dorinda. When I tell you Dorinda could not manage a declarative sentence every time she got drunk, and they were drunk all the time. Okay, in New York, they was drunk boots all the time. I just wanted to make it nice. You guys are right. They were drunk boots all the time. Beverly Hills, it took me a little while to warm up to Beverly Hills, except when uh clip, clip. Listen, there's nothing like there's nothing like New York. There's nothing like they talk so fast and they're always talking and they don't know what they're talking about, but on top of they're always drunk and on top of they a little bit of some old hoes. You ain't hear from me. You ain't hear from me. Beverly Hills is one that took me a little minute to come to, but put Kim back. Put Kim back and take Kyle off. Put Kim back and take Kyle off. We can have an OG. We got the wrong sister. Kyle, it's time. Your time is up, baby girl. Your time is up. Take Kyle off. Bring Kim back. And let her drink a little bit. That's mean. That's mean. That woman has a problem. But when Kim when Kim was on fire, when Kim was on fire, do y'all remember that first season fight in the truck? In the limo? When Kim said, y'all stole my house, I want a backstory. The real one. Because what you mean, Kim? What you mean they stole your house? I mean, I believe you. I believe every word. I believe every word. But I want all the details, okay? What you mean she stole your house, Kim? Tell me everything. Tell me everything. I want to know. I want to know. In the later seasons when they brought on Kathy, that is the rich woman I aspire to be. Okay? The rich woman who's just oblivious, don't know anything. When she told Dorit, I've worked with the toothless, I've worked with the homeless. OMG. Dumb as a box of hair, and that's who I want to be, honey. That's who I aspire to be. When somebody was talking to her and they went like everything's all hunky dory, and she was like, "Who is hunky dory?" Listen, hilarious, hilarious. That is the rich I aspire to be. That rich where I don't care about nothing. I don't know what y'all talking about. I'm just spending money. Um, my critique of all the franchises, and then I'm gonna get out of here, is I want them to, if they're going to continue the franchises, because I think they've lost the luster. They start to hire fans. I haven't watched Atlanta in about 4 seasons, maybe even 5, because it just started to become a reality TV show that played out on social media, and I didn't like it. And it felt like they were playing to the fans instead of just being on the show. Like they started to be too aware of what they would come off like And I don't like that. I just want you to be you. You know what I'm saying? Like those earlier seasons, I think they were so good because they did not recognize what people would think of what happened. Also, I think they lost the luster because production started to get too involved. You can tell when production likes somebody. You can tell when production likes somebody. Um, and I think it alters how the show is presented. Um, and it messes it up. It messes it up. But these going back to watch the earlier seasons, amazing. I don't like this may be a critique that some people don't like, and you are absolutely free to disagree with me. I don't like when they try to mix the races of the women and it's not organic. With Atlanta and Kim, it seemed organic. It seemed like these were Kim's actual friends. It seemed like Nene was actually Kim's friend. So it worked. But when you try to put Garcelle on Beverly Hills, and so I I just like to watch my reality TV, and I just like to watch a bunch of dumb drama with women who shouldn't have drama because they have everything in the world. Like I don't want to have to deal with microaggressions and these racial ambiguity conversations that I just don't want to. I know we have to have them, but ugh, I just don't want to. Not while I'm watching TV. Like, not while I'm watching TV. So if this black woman does not usually hang out with a group full of white women, then don't make her. Don't make her. Because then she doesn't have to be the teacher of the white women. You can't say that. You can't do that. That was rude. That's a microaggression. And these white women don't have to be on guard about what they can and can't say. And then I don't have to be ready to slap one of y'all because y'all don't understand. Like it just doesn't need to be. It just doesn't need to be. That's what I think they started to miss too. I think production started to cast women instead of casting friend groups. Like, yeah, when the whole New York thing and Ebony came on there, and I was just like, oh, of course Ramona's racist. In what world did we not know Ramona wasn't racist? I don't care. She's hilarious. I don't have to deal with her. I don't have to talk to her. I never talk to Ramona. I never want to be in the same room with Ramona. But is she funny as fuck? Duh. Like, I don't. Of course she is. Of course she is. So why would you try to force her around? Why would you try to force this black woman around her? So now I can just be mad all the time and trying to teach this woman who is not to be taught why she can't do the things she can do. No, I just wouldn't be around this woman. I just wouldn't be around her. And that's another thing too. Like when you try to cast people and not friend groups, it starts to become weird because there's no other reason these people would be in the same room. So it's not authentic. It's just not authentic. If I don't like you, I'm not going to dinner. And I'm not going on a cast trip. I don't like you. I don't want to be on a trip with nobody I don't like. It stops being authentic and it messed up the franchises. But going back to rewatch them, oh, it has been so amazing. When Dwight said, "Who was this wonderful person who had a fashion show with no fashions?" How dreadful. That first season of Atlanta, there was nothing like it. There was nothing like it when Sheree was still trying to put on airs. Ugh. When Sheree was still trying to be real up the. Amazing. Amazing television. All right, I'm going to get out of here, but if y'all want to do it with me, we will be talking about it. I have gotten to season 3 of New York. I have gotten to season 4 of Atlanta. I think I'm on season 2 or 3 of New Jersey. This is what I just watch when I'm just getting ready to go somewhere. I just put it on in the background and I just remember all the to do about it. And it's just so amazing. And I'm going to talk about it every time we come on. It's going to be like the last thing we talk about because I think if y'all rewatch, some of y'all opinions are going to change about some of these people. I think some of y'all opinions are going to change about some of these people. Just my opinion. I think some opinions change when you rewatch and you have all the episodes at one time and you can hear everybody at one time. You're not anticipating and you don't like. I think some opinions change. That's all I'm saying. I think some opinions change once you rewatch, and they're amazing television. I mean, lightning in a bottle. And I think they continue to try to redo it, and it's not helping. It's not happening. But those first couple of seasons, amazing. When Kelly told Bethany, "I'm here, I'm here, and you're here." Bethany was great. Bethany was amazing television in her first couple seasons, and then later she just turned into this. I don't know. I don't know. It's because they know that the eyes of the country is watching, and their personalities change. And before that though, ugh, they're amazing. They're amazing. All right, I'm gonna get out of here. Do you see my nails? My daughter does my nails, and I think they're so freaking cute. See that nail fee? These are my Beyonce nails. I'm gonna be seeing Beyonce tomorrow. I have a 5 a.m. flight. Pray for me. I'm just not gonna go to sleep because I will miss a 5 a.m. flight. I don't even know why they have 5 a.m. flights, but they do, child, and I'm gonna be on one of them. God willing. Y'all have a good day. Happy Thursday. Have a good weekend. Enjoy your summer. I had to turn my air off today. I was freezing. Woke up with a stuffy nose. Oh, it's going back on though, 'cause it's going to be 89 degrees today. But anyway, y'all have a good day. I love speaking to y'all. We will catch each other again soon. Bye. Take care of each other and yourselves. Bye.